I don't even know why I'm acting surprised that the sound keeps going out, or acting like why, I don't know. I'm literally talking about spirits that enter into people and how it's causing this terrible situation in the church with the children and what's happening. And obviously, that's why they don't want me to record. They don't want people to know that there can be an end to this. This is great. Why didn't I think of this? I'm sitting here getting frustrated, and I should have started really praying about it, like really warring about it instead of worrying about it. I should have started worrying about it, because you know what? It's not the computer. It's not the computer. It's not the computer. It's not the computer. It's literally these principalities that don't want the truth out there. How crazy is that? It's just unbelievable, though. It's unreal. It's unreal to think it, but it's not the computer. It's not a mistake that I'm making. Nothing happened. These high-ranking principalities don't want us talking about this. They don't want us talking about when the spirits wanted to go into the pigs instead of back to where they belong. Because what if these spirits that are entering these people feel the same way? And it's not what if. They don't want to be cast out. They don't want any of this to happen. So I'll fix this. This is not a technical issue. This is a spiritual issue. And I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to be back. The similarities between the two families are unmistakable. It's enough to make the average person, a non-believer, say, wait a minute, I should start looking into this spiritual stuff, because how in the world did this happen back then and it's happening now again the exact same way? The son, the daughter, the cheating, the greed, there's so much to go over. And when you put them right next to each other, it's just as obvious as the Department of Church Accountability next to Rachel Lamb's account is. It's so obvious. So again, this is a spiritual battle. I pulled up some scriptures, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start praying. I'm going to read some scriptures out loud. I'm going to play some worship music, because this is not an issue with my computer. This is not a technical issue. But we have Luke 22:3. Then Satan entered Judas, called Iscariot. I'm so terrible with that name. One of the 12. Satan enters Judas, leading to the betrayal of Jesus. Then we have Mark 5:12. The demons begged Jesus, send us among the pigs, allow us to go into them. He gave them permission, and the impure spirits came out and went into the pigs. The herd, about 2,000 in number, rushed down the steep bank into the lake and were drowned. Okay. Impure spirits leave a man and entered into a herd of pigs. This is real. I know it sounds crazy, especially like any of my friends that know me, that knew me from before. They're probably like, what is she talking about? This is real. You have to understand. You just have to think. Just open your mind and think. What about that time that suddenly I just had this urge to punch someone in the face for no reason? For entertainment purposes only. YouTube, don't block my video. This is for educational entertainment purposes only. But you get this urge to want to do something and you don't know where it came from. What you need to do is you need to stop and you need to ask for forgiveness. You need to ask God to forgive you while you forgive whoever you're upset with, because that's how they're getting in. When you're holding on to that unforgiveness, there's an open door and they're sneaking in. So same thing for these people. They're holding on, they're harboring something, whatever. That's a whole nother thing. But you know what I'm saying? Okay, then we have 1 Samuel. Now the Spirit of the Lord had departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord tormented him. An evil spirit affects Saul, though entering is implied rather than directly stated. Okay, these spirits enter into people, okay? Let's see. We have John 13:27. As soon as Judas took the bread, this is another one. We read that one up there. So that one's repeated when Satan enters Judas. To me, that one's a little bit different, but wow, you know what I just realized? I realized this before, I'm sure, but right now as I'm saying it, Satan can enter into people. And that's why when you see these horrific crimes, you're like, how in the world did that happen? Oh my goodness. Okay. So, oh my goodness. Whatever. But this is why spirits entering into these people. This is why those troll accounts, some of them you can see her being super rotten from. And I know there's people that say, oh, we can't say for sure. You can't say for sure. Some of us can discern for sure, but that's besides the point. Allegedly, okay? Allegedly, if that makes you feel better. But these are spirits behind these people, okay? We know we battle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. These are spirits, and they are the same spirits that they continue to go after these wealthy Christian leaders and their families. Why? Why would they want to go after them? Because what's better than corrupting them? Everything that comes down from there, when you sit under them and you try to take in their teaching, no, you need to go get deliverance. Oh my goodness. But okay, we're going to fix the live. We're going to do some praying. We're going to do some studying, and we're going to fix the live the right way, the sound, because it's not technical. And we'll be back. In the meantime, here's a few clips of the similarities of just how strategic these principalities really are.
Michael Shamblin admits he was not happy when his mother, the founder of Brentwood's Remnant Fellowship, divorced his dad and married another Remnant member. Still, he says he never expected where all of that would lead.
Travel together. Her and Joe would travel together. They started being sat next to each other at leadership house parties, things of that nature. She was essentially committing adultery.
Doesn't that sound familiar? Does that sound like Dougie Fresh? Does that sound like Dougie Fresh that might have been committing adultery too?
Joe Laura was seemingly out of central casting for his new Remnant role.
He didn't like me because I was the one guy who was not going to kiss up to him. And I didn't really like him either. I didn't trust him. I always kind of felt like he's acting.
Michael Shamblin says his dad, David, later confided he had discovered a secret bank account that Gwen Shamblin had used to buy gifts for Laura while she was still married to David.
Oh, yeah. And once we get into these bank accounts, that's even more of same spirit.
And David Shamblin he never had an affair against her. He was not out drinking he was intent to be married to her his whole life. He was a good father. And from the day she divorced David Shamblin until the day of her death, they never had 1 month of peace.
And this is just my speculation, but I speculate that Doug hasn't had any peace since he has married Joni. I think he's thinking to himself, like, what did I get myself into? I think that Joni showed her true colors after they got married, and he didn't expect her to be so mean and so controlling. And I feel like they are going back and forth every day. I feel like they are not happy, and I feel like this little clip right here shows, because like it's the same spirit.
Her Joe. Every month was custody fights with his ex, Natasha, or there was constant issues, constant trouble.
This is just clips of them pretending to be happy, the way that Joni always pretends everything is great and they pretend to be happy. That's all it is. It's that same spirit. They want the world to think everything's great when it's really not great.
Point, I was considered practically an enemy of Gwen. We just played the game.
That sure sounds familiar. I wonder where we heard a story like that before.
Still there.
Worried about what he might do.
She knew for years that I was kind of a threat to go to the media, to do exactly what I'm doing now.
He says that's when Joe, a man who was proficient with a sniper rifle, took him out behind Gwen's plantation-style home.
He showed me a Creedmoor sniper round, and he said, this is what we're going to take you out with from 1,200 yards.
So I wonder if that's the message that they sent when they sent somebody to Jonathan and Susie's house with the bulletproof vest with the gun on their hip to deliver papers. Do you think that's the message they were trying to deliver? I do. I think so. I think it was the same spirit, the same evil spirit that I pray to God in heaven in the name of Jesus that they drive those spirits out and send them straight back where they came from. I don't really know where that is. I don't know if it's hell. I don't know if it's the abyss, but I pray that those spirits get driven out and get sent straight back. Not into pigs, just go straight back where you came from. Fix everything that you broke, fix everything that you damaged, repair everything that you messed up, and get out and go back where you belong. That's what I pray for.
So just to be clear, Joe Lara showed you a sniper's bullet and said that that could be aimed at you.
Yes. It's an asshole comment.
And you took that as a threat?
I did.
Despite the image, Michael insists Joe wasn't a good influence on Gwen.
She started experimenting with marijuana, and I heard from people from even harder drugs.
Okay, we can go to Pompanos now. Hi, everybody.
It was constant intoxication on trips and things like that.
But did Remnant approve of drinking?
Remnant didn't, the average Remnant person didn't know any of that. They would only know what they see in the worship service.
Still, Michael Shamblin says there's a part of him that almost felt sorry for Joe.
I could tell he didn't want to be there. That's why he was flying so much. It's an escape.
And Laura would be at the controls when their plane crashed into Nashville's Percy Priest Lake.
I think deep down, once he got into that position, I think he wanted out.
He wanted a divorce.
He wanted out of that because he had no clue how controlling and what kind of life that was going to be with Gwen.
Now, Michael Shamblin also revealed one of the big reasons why he came to decide that Remnant Fellowship was a cult at a time when he was actually considered to be one of its leaders. It was a secret system for keeping track of members. You'll hear what he had to say about that.